were asked the other day how to change the lamps in an Einstein 640 from Paul Buff. Now, we've fallen in love with these lights. Granted, they've had some speed bumps along the way, and a few of ours have been back for repair, mostly about the mounting fingers on the front. But Paul Buff's, their company's been great about it, and we love the product. We haven't had to replace many of the strobe tubes, and the reason for that is this protective dome over the front is protecting the strobe tube and the modeling lamp inside. And we cannot tell you how much we appreciate it. We, here in the studio, when we were using Alien Bees and White Lightnings, had to replace tubes probably about twice a month. And that's mostly because different folks were putting the soft boxes on the front and bashing into the strobe tubes. They didn't mean to, it just happened. And that would wear out the tube until eventually it would break. Now this simply doesn't happen. We have all sorts of spare tubes out back that we don't even use. I think we've replaced one in the perhaps year to year and a half we've had these in service. So no real complaints. And we have 10, 15, 20 of these? I don't know. We have many. To do this, we have to remove this dome first. And just pick any two of the spring clips that are adjacent to one another and just bend them out. And that seems weird that you're going to bend them, but that's all you have to do. And just lift that right off. This will shatter if you drop it on the floor, so let's avoid that. The replacements are available. They're cheap. Actually, we keep replacements on hand. That we have broken a couple times. And we want to replace this tube. Now, notice I'm wearing gloves. Paul Buff will tell you to handle the strobe tube. You don't need to wear gloves. Personally, I do because I think it will reduce the life of the bulb, but again, I'm kicking it old school. So just some gloves. You could use a paper towel, something like that, just to keep the oil from your fingers off the strobe tube. And I'm just going to pull straight up. And let's pretend this was a bad tube. All right, we're going to discard this and bring in a new tube. This one's fine. By the way, the discolorations at each of these electrode points is normal. That's normal. And to put the strobe tube back in, you simply reinsert it in the holes and push straight down. But for the moment, I'm going to set that aside because I want to show you how to remove the modeling lamp, and you'll get a better view of this with this tube to the side, but you don't have to take that out to remove this one. But let's say this blue, and these are 150 watt bulbs. Of course, this lamp has to be unplugged and cool when you do all of this. To do it, you just push straight down and twist slightly. Push down, twist slightly, and from my view, it's counterclockwise. And it's like a little bayonet. There's two little pins here that have to rotate, and you could discard this. These are inexpensive to keep on hand as well. Anecdotally, these blow more often than the strobe tubes, but again, we haven't actually replaced one of these yet. I think that's good luck. I think he provides a spare when you get it too, but in any event, we have spares on hand. To do that, you just push it straight back in, line up the two little pins, push straight down a little bit, turn just a bit. That's it. To replace the strobe tube, we just line up these three holes. There's two little conductors inside it has to sit into, push straight down. That's that. Boy, that was pretty complicated actually. And then we just take this. Now, you're going to want to put this back on here, but I recommend pushing these two spring clips back in first. Put two in, and then you'll see there's a little spring there. You just push it straight back on. That's it. It's not going anywhere. That's the whole thing. And then, of course, always leave it stored with a shipping cover on. Pretty straightforward. That's how you replace the bulbs in an Einstein 640 from Paul Buff Company. We love the product. We love the service even more. And if we can help you out, if you have any suggestions for videos, send them our way. bud@thesopha.com. Call us on the phone, send up smoke signals, whatever. We're here for you. Always ask, how can we help you? Have a good one.